Hi, it's Colleen with Rope and Resellers, and I'm here for a weekly update for the week of June 5th through June 11th, 2017. First up, I sold a GE electric clock. It looks really cool, like it's some sort of tile, but it's actually just plastic, and it actually had this little dent in it. I picked it up at a garage sale for $3. I showed the dent right here. It's sold for $19.99. They paid shipping, so total on that was $28.14. eBay, PayPal, and shipping was $11.61 for a total profit of $13.53, and that took 1 week to sell. The right color, I think it was that teal color that really made it stand out. There were some others online. Anyway, North Face denim jeans. They were men's, size 36-32, pretty generic size. $24.99 is what those sold for. I paid shipping. I paid $1 for them at a rummage sale. They cost me $9.06 in fees and shipping for a total profit of $14.93, and that only took about a week to sell. These were in really pretty decent condition. Next was, this was great. So I bought this for my daughter at a garage sale for 50 cents, and I thought, oh, she's going to love this because it's pretty small if you look at it the size of the pencil, and it's traveling, and she was wanting one of those. Well, of course, I came home and checked eBay before I sort of told her that she could have it, and it's selling for $49.99, which is what I sold it for, and it cost me $10.34 for shipping, PayPal, and eBay fees for a total profit of $39.15. So she didn't get that, and it only took a week to sell. Next was this Mariners. It had the embroidery on the front. I have another one up right now. It's Shiro. He's a player in the early 2000s. Anyway, I sold this for $44.99. 50 cents is what I paid for it at a garage sale. This was a Majestic. That's always kind of a brand to look for. Oh, I'm sorry. I paid 75 cents for this. Whew. $9.88 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $34.36, and that only took 1 day to sell. I was kind of surprised. There's others up there, but these are kind of outside the box, as the bin pickers love to say. I picked these up because they said they sell vintage sportswear, and these are a pair of men's briefs, probably from the 40s. They are Jansen men's swimsuit briefs. They were pretty small, size 30. Of course, people were smaller back then. There's different patches. This one in particular had this swimmer. You can look it up. There's some that are more desirable than others, but I was pretty happy. There was a couple little holes. I think these were made out of wool. So anyway, pretty unusual. Don't usually find this sort of thing. Of course, I'm usually never looking, but now I will. $39.99, 50 cents at a rummage sale, $7.89 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $31.60, and that took about 3 weeks to sell. Next were these antique grape shears, for cutting the stems for grapes. Such handy things to have. Anyway, they sold for $24.99. I picked them up at an estate sale for $2. They were unmarked. They did not have a maker's mark on them, but they were pretty ornate, and I was able to do a little research, and I don't know exactly when they're from, but they were definitely probably 100 years old, and $6.08 was what I paid in fees for a total profit of $16.91. That took 4 weeks to sell. I picked this up at a rummage sale. I just thought it was kind of nice. I do some design work, interior design, sewing work for people in my town, and I thought, well, maybe they would want this because it's nice and it's wool. Anyway, they didn't want it, so I threw it up on eBay, $14.99. I paid $1 for it at a rummage sale, $5.84 shipping and fees for a total profit of $8.15, and it took 3 weeks to sell. Here's a pair of glasses. I've sold sunglasses. I've never sold eyeglasses before. Obviously, because I didn't even put eyeglasses in the title, which was sort of stupid. I'm surprised they sold at all. But anyway, these are Jill Stewart's. I was able to get the number on the arm, usually somewhere. There's usually a number that you can read, and then you can get the style and look it up online. It's pretty easy. These are pretty cool. $34.99 is what they sold for. I paid 50 cents at Goodwill. $7.12 is what I paid in shipping and fees for a total profit of $27.37, and that took a while, 3 months to sell. These are vintage ski race gloves, Ski Pool by Reusch. You're not going to find these unless you live in a ski town, probably. I picked these up at an estate sale. They sold for $39.99, even though it is the middle of summer, and no, they did not go to the Southern Hemisphere. $5 is what I paid for them at an estate sale. These were in phenomenal condition, and they were a men's, probably on the larger side, a nine and a half, and they're pretty cool. I'm gonna guess from 80s, maybe 90s, early 90s. Let's see, they shipping, PayPal, eBay fees, $8.58 for a total profit of $26.41, and that took a month to sell. Next was someone offered me $8. I was actually garage selling at the time and feeling pretty sorry for myself because I hadn't sold a whole lot that week. So I accepted it, not realizing that the shipping was offset. I mean, I don't know why I had such high shipping. Anyway, I ended up refunding her some money on shipping. She paid $8, $11.88 total is what she paid. I paid 25 cents for it at the little old lady store, the thrift store. $6.25 shipping and fees for a total profit of $5.38. That took 2 years and 9 months. And yes, I hung on to it way too long. This was cool. I just bought this last weekend at a garage sale for $2. It was this really sweet old guy that I felt like he had just opened up his boxes. He was obviously overwhelmed and lived in his house for a very long time. I almost said, oh, I'm in the real estate or the estate sale business because I just felt so sorry for him. I'm sure he could make a lot of money. He had some great tools and some other stuff. But I'm busy enough. Anyway, this was definitely old. You can tell by the plugs. I sold for $24.99. They paid shipping. So the total for them was $47.83. $23.98 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $21.85. And that took 5 days to sell. Now, Manning Bowman is not a very popular one for these vintage fans. This thing worked awesome, but the oscillator did not. And I included that information in my description. But it's the GE ones that tend to do really well. Carhartts, flannel lined, these were in phenomenal condition, but I just said they were in good condition. There was some wash wear. Men's size 33, 32. Flannel lined, always a bonus. My husband lives in these in the winter. And I sold those $29.99, $1 at a rummage sale, $9.96 shipping and fees for a total profit of $19.03, and that took about 10 days, even though it's summer and they're flannel line. Okay, this little guy, he is a video game statue that goes with various Xbox, Wii U, Wii, and then he had his little disc. And this is out of that lot that I made a mistake out of last year. Each item, there was probably 20 or 30 of these guys in the box, and I paid $25 for him. So he ended up costing me about $1. So $9.50. I paid $1, $4.06 for shipping and fees for a total profit of $4.44, and that took 6 months to sell. I have a couple more, but I don't think I have very many of these left. And the last was this gentleman offered me $10, even though I just sort of listed it. I picked this up out of a free bin at an estate sale, and so it didn't cost me anything. So I was like, yeah, whatever. He said if it's not chrome or metal, that they're less desirable. And I took his word. I knew that it wasn't worth a whole lot, but $10 for a single tape, heck yeah. So 412 for shipping and fees for a total profit of 588, and that took 3 weeks to sell. So looking at the numbers for the week, a little bit better than last week, since I'm always sort of shooting for 200. Let's see. So I collected 377.39. If they paid shipping, that total, and the total it shows up on eBay 412.26. I spent $18.50 on all those items, 124.77 in fees and shipping, for a total profit of 268.99. On merch, I sold 5 shirts for a total profit of 35.23. So my total profit for my online adventure, 304.22. I'll take it. Okay, so not a bad return for this week. I don't know if it was Father's Day or what, but it seemed like my sales were just a little bit up this week, and I'm grateful for that. I never ask why, I just keep plugging along. So I'll give you my tip for the week, which came to me in an epiphany. As I was driving home, I was kind of done. It was going to start to rain on Saturday when I was doing garage sales, and I stopped by a garage sale on the side of the road, and under a table I found some Legos. And so I asked the lady, how much do you want for the Legos? They were 2 bins, probably about, I think there was 9 or 10 pounds worth, and she said $20, and I said, I'll give you 15, and she took it. So my advice to you is not to ask whether if she would be willing to take 15, but to instead, don't leave that door open and say, I will give you 15. So the other advantage that I had there was that it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and most people kind of are done with garage sailing at that point. They want to go out and go hiking or biking or do whatever they want and enjoy the rest of their Saturday. They don't want to sit around and wait for people to buy their stuff. And the other advantage was that it was starting to rain, and all of her stuff was out on the lawn. So look at your surroundings. Don't ask questions as to whether they would take a certain amount, but rather tell them what you are willing to give them. Use cash, and be firm and negotiate. I mean, don't be rude. And the other thing is, when you're at estate sales, you can kind of do the same sort of thing. You can pile up stuff, look when the line is long, and when you finally get up to the front, make sure there's 6 or 7 people behind you. Add up everything, know exactly what everything would cost if you were just to pay for it, and then you can maybe make a deal. I added all this up, it costs $135, I'll give you $100, and then always have cash. That's the other thing, is because they have to pay a percentage on that credit card. So I try to always bring cash with me, and that seems to work pretty well. And if they know you, if you go back to the same estate sale people multiple times, then a lot of times they'll just cut you a deal. So anyway, try to always haggle. Obviously, with thrift stores, we don't have that luxury. Sometimes you do in the smaller thrift stores, but really, they've got to pay rent and pay people to be there. So I would say there's more wiggle room when you go to estate sales and to garage sales. So that's my tip for the week. Be smart, be savvy, look at your surroundings, look at your situational awareness, have your situational awareness antenna on, and know where you can push in and make a little bit more on the front end, because you're going to have to store this stuff and list it, and you want to be able to flip it at a low price so you can get it out of your house as quickly as possible. So I hope you had a good week as well. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you want to, and we'll see you next week.